Absolutely. So if you have any skill set, but for the sake of this example, we'll talk about funding credit, right? What I learned is that when you're good at something, right, you have to think if you have the ability to make money with a skill, right? It even says, even biblical terms, the best thing you could do on this earth is to put someone else in a position to feed their family, right? So I think, okay, this skill set that allows me to make money, why not show others how they can duplicate and do the same thing and change people's lives, right?
Facts.
So rather than doing it for you, where if you have now that, let's say something goes wrong, or let's say you want more funding, you have to come back and see me. Why not just show you now you have a skill set forever, right? So I started first products I used to sell was I did live classes. I just did a live class. You know, I would charge like $27 and just to get my feet wet, right? So we started doing live classes, and then what we would do is we would have an upsell to like, you know, a 2-day intensive. But what had happened is I had seen we were giving a lot of impact. Then we started selling the replays. So when selling the replays, what I noticed was I was getting a lot of people who was like, hey, do you have another offer? But I didn't have another offer. So then what I did was I took the money that I had got, I had paid a coach to show me then how to monetize, how to create high ticket mentorships, how to, you know, create a full course that people could actually come get the game to. So what we've been doing a lot is we've been leveraging social media, specifically Instagram, to grow our brand. And the number one way I tell people to do that, if you want to grow your brand fast, is you have to leverage other people's audience, right? So we talk about banks, OPM, right? But when it comes to growing in the marketing aspect, OPA, other people's audience, right? So that's going to allow us to get in front of people who want what we have to offer. So again, we'll leverage, like, for example, black business pages, right? I may make a post that did well on my page and put it on those pages. What that's going to allow me to do is get eyeballs on my product. So what I'll do is I'll invite them to, you know, a free class where I can give them a whole lot of game. Now, the key to this, a lot of people operate with a scarcity mindset, but they don't want to give away the game, right? But what I tell you is, again, when you over-deliver, you'll be overpaid. So you give away a lot of game. That way people know you're an expert, right? And you build that trust. And a lot of times you build that relatability. Because you have to, just like you asked me about my story, we talk about our story. So they know, like, I'm no different than you. I'm just like you. So we kind of got into that, bro. And we've been doing that now for, 9 months. And yeah, we just been changing a lot of lives and helping a lot of lives. So I tell people, like, monetize the information you got, monetize your skill set. And honestly, the services are great, but you can make a lot of money educating people, right?
Got you. If from the digital product side of things, if I'm here, I'm listening to, I'm like, all right, do I do an ebook? Do I do a course? Do I do a mentorship, a mastermind? Do I do all of them? Like, what would you say to those individuals?
So what I would tell somebody, I know a lot of people have different answers. In my opinion, the best way to get started is doing live classes, right? Because ebooks are great. Don't get me wrong. I have ebooks. We sell a lot of ebooks. But when you talk about creating that know, like, and trust, people get to be on the class with you. They get to ask questions. They get to tap in with you. They get to feel, okay, this is an actual person, right? So there could be 1 million people selling credit, doing funding, but there's going to be people who rock with me based on my style,
right,
how I talk or whatever. So live class is the quickest way to build your brand and make a lot of money.
Got you. Live classes. And in terms of just if I'm, because I want to remove any and all excuses. You talked about Instagram. Is that the absolute best platform for now, else to go out and build that audience to get eyeballs on, get eyeballs and get butts and seats for that live class? Talk a little about that.
I would say for me, yeah, Instagram is the easiest platform to build your brand, just because you got direct access to whatever you do. Like I said, I could go pay another influencer, pay an influencer page to really get in front of 1 million people and get them to my page now, where I could, send them to a free offer where I could talk to them, right? Really nurture these people and show them that I know what I'm talking about. So that's the quickest way to grow your brand, in my opinion.
What's interesting is, and I hope a lot of people picked up on it, in this episode we talked about OPM, other people's money. When it talked about, building the audience and things like that, and using pages like Spiritual World and things like that to get eyeballs and butts and seats for the webinar, we talked about OPA, other people's audiences. Yeah. But you said something where you was talking about learning how to create digital products and monetize on that side. And you were talking about mentorship. Let's talk about OPI. Let's talk about other people's information, right? Why do you think, you're being a high-level entrepreneur, knowing what you know now, why do you think some people are so finicky, so 1 foot in, 1 foot out when it comes to paying to learn more and get to that next level, right? What was it in you that you knew, like, all right, if I want to go from here to here, I got to pay what it costs to get there no matter what, versus someone else is like, nah, I'm going to go to YouTube University. I'm going to go to Google page 89 until I get it for free. What's the difference between someone like yourself and someone like the other person that's like, I don't know?
So honestly, bro, like, a lot of times is belief, right? Because we grow up and think about it, like, you know, I'm from the neighborhood. Like, no one was even thinking about paying somebody for information. And I always say power and proximity, right? Like, if you grow up and you know, maybe your parents or everyone talks about when you get money, you start to hold on to the money. So you talk about paying someone else to show you something, that don't even sound right. People will go there pay for college all day, but they don't want to pay somebody to show them a skill set. And I think it's just a mental thing where that's how you come up and you're stuck in your ways. But my process was, I looked at my situation like, if nothing changes, nothing's gonna change, right?
Facts.
And I always knew for me, I wanted to be wealthy. Like, I've been like that since the youngest. So for me, I was like, I gotta just bet on myself. Otherwise, I'm gonna be doing the same thing, running around, you know, chasing money instead of creating, you know, infinite capital. So I just bet on myself. That was the first thing I had did. And I just said, yeah, I had to try it. So I think what happens is people just don't believe in themselves a lot, right? They don't really, you know, want to bet on themselves. But if you don't, you're going to be in the same place, and it's going to be hard for you to get to that level you're looking to get to.
So now watch this, right? Because like I said, I want to eliminate all excuses.
Yeah.
If I'm watching this episode, and let's say I'm somebody who's watching this episode, and I'm like, nah, I do believe in myself, but I just don't understand why do I have to pay for the information, right? Well, hold on. What if someone's like, if you really trying to help me or trying to help the community, and I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking in general, why don't you just give the information away for free? Why do I got to pay for a mentorship, pay for a mastermind, things like that? What would you say to that person?
I would say, one, I truly learned this, and I believe this with my whole heart. When you pay attention, right? Like, I see even in my products, lower priced products attract, when you buy some, people buy some, they don't even believe for $27 that it's going to change their life. Like, they don't even believe that, right? And probably even you, have you ever bought a book, maybe it's $10, $20, you're like, man, let me put that down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you pay premium price, you like, I'm all in. I'm showing up early. I got all the questions. My questions is all written out.
Facts.
And your mindset is, I better get this result, because if not, I want to ask the mentor why it's not working. But in doing so, you're doing all the steps that the mentor told you to do. So what that does is you learn that it actually does work, right? So that's why premium price, you know, premium price offers and mentorship, it's the key to changing the game for you. It don't even be all the times all the information. It just be the amount of action that you take. And then what happens is you build that self-belief because you know it works. And then you become, you know, obsessed. Like, my mindset's like, who can I pay to get me to the next level, right? Because once you see it, you really can't unsee it. So I think a lot of people just never get to that first, you know, part of investing to where they, you know, they're like, all right, this is the key.
Let me tell you something, man. You came on here, you gave a lot of game. And there's someone watching this right